Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share a get ready with me, testing out a lot of new products that I recently picked up. So I hope that you enjoy this video. I'll also share the outfit that I wear today as well. So I'll do that kind of vlog style like I did in my haul video that you guys really seem to enjoy. But yeah, let's go ahead and begin. The first thing that I did was use this Neutrogena acne spot treatment. I don't know the official name of this, but it's a red and blue light that gets deep down in your skin when you have blemishes to help kill the bacteria. I have two pretty painful blemishes here. So I use this, and this helps to cut down the lifetime or how long you have a blemish. So it really helps a lot. It's one of my favorite things to use when I have a blemish. And yeah, starting first with the primer. This is a Lorac Light Source 3-in-1 Illuminating Primer in the shade Dusk. I've never tried anything from this line before, and this came in the goodie bag that we received at Create and Cultivate. So I thought that I'd share my thoughts on this. So I don't know if this is going to be too dark or what, but it's very illuminating. I probably should have mixed this with my foundation because I don't know if this is the way that I want to look, because this is extremely illuminating, and I like illuminating primers. I use the Burberry Fresh Glow. That's one of my favorites, but this is a little bit much, especially when I have some breakouts going on. It's actually not as bad once you get it blended in, but it's still extremely illuminating. It's really pretty though. So it says you can use this 3 different ways: alone as a face primer, under your makeup, mixed with your foundation or a moisturizer, or applied on top of your makeup to brighten and highlight. So there's 3 different ways you can use that, which I guess is why they call it 3-in-1. I do like this though. It didn't add a ton of color. It just adds a really nice bronzy glow. It's really pretty, and it absorbs well. It doesn't feel really tacky, but I can tell that I have something on my skin, but it doesn't feel sticky or gross. In my last Nordstrom order, I picked up a sample of the La Mer foundation. Now, this is an extremely expensive foundation, but I really wanted to try it because I do like La Mer's products, and I'm hoping that I won't like this because I don't think I could spend this much on a foundation, but I wanted to try it and show you guys what it looks like on camera in case any of you were curious about it. So the color of the sample is Natural 12. Alright, so this is a pretty lightweight foundation. Typically I use the Dior Skin Forever. I've talked about it before, and that has a pretty full coverage. So this, I can already tell if I can get it out. I don't know why it's not coming out of this. I can already tell this has a really light coverage, but let's see how buildable it is. It's a very silky feel, and I'm just using my fingertips just so I could get a feel of what the consistency and the texture. It has a nice glow, like a nice dewy finish. I'm not sure if it would be the best in the Florida humidity here. I like to wear more matte, let's see if I can build it up, more matte foundations. It feels really nice, but for coverage, I look for a little bit more coverage in the foundations that I wear. For concealer, I'm going to try this Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy. It corrects dark circles, brightens and depuffs, and smooths fine lines. So it has an SPF. So it has this little silver applicator, and oh, whoa. Okay, that came out. Wow, way too much. If you are just using this for the first time, be careful because you have to give it a lot of pumps. I should have known that. I do like the silver applicator. It's very cooling, so if you get puffy under your eyes, that's always helpful. The color is really light. It's kind of watery for a concealer. I'm used to a little bit thicker consistencies here. It did make my under eyes look a little brighter. I don't think that this gives enough coverage, at least for what I'm looking for. I have dark circles under my eyes, so I like to use a more full coverage foundation, so I'm going to go in with my Shape Tape and also put that over my blemish. I just feel like I need the extra coverage, so I'm going to put a little bit of translucent powder on top of this just to set that in place. I'm going to pack a little bit more of my translucent powder around the areas where my concealer or my foundation sometimes settles and where I get oily. Okay, so I just blended in all the powder, I did my brows, and now I'm going to use my bronzer. So I have two new bronzers to try. I have this Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, which everyone raves about, so I'm excited to try it. And then this Bronze and Glow by Revolution, Makeup Revolution. So this kind of reminds me of the Too Faced chocolate palette. It looks like a chocolate bar, and it's a bronzer and highlighter. So the Makeup Revolution bronzer is more matte, and then this one has more of a sheen. I'm going to go for this one first, just because I like the color of this a little more. And I'm just going to use this Eco Tools brush. So I'm just going into the contours, underneath my cheekbones, and then up underneath my jawline, and kind of down the sides a little bit, just to help buff in the foundation that I put underneath there, a little bit under my chin. And I'll do a little bit along the sides of my nose. It's definitely a warmer tone than what I'm used to. I'm going to go over it with this one just to kind of cool it a little bit, because it is a little orange. Just going over what I did just to kind of blend everything in. It got a little heavy on this side. Okay, for blush, I normally don't go for cream blushes, but I wanted to try this Nude Sticks All Over Face color. So you can use it on your cheeks, you can use it on your lips. So let's see how this goes. It has a brush on the end here. I'm just going to dot a little bit on my cheeks and kind of brush it back. I feel like cream blushes only look good if your skin is completely flawless, because they just kind of pull everything or make everything more magnified, like pores and dry patches and oiliness. I don't know. I'm not typically a fan of cream blushes. I've used some in the past that I liked, but I also forgot that this was a cream, that I was trying a cream blush, and I don't like to do creams on top of powder, or I definitely don't like to. I would not recommend putting a cream on top of a powder because it becomes impossible to blend. So had I remembered that, I would have done my bronzer after doing this. That's another reason why I don't like creams. It just messes with the flow that I normally do for when I put my makeup on. And since I used the cream blush, exactly what I thought would happen is, because I already put that powder on, the translucent powder, it's grabbing and pulling my foundation off, which is just not good at all. That is why you don't put cream on top of powder. And I knew that, but I forgot I was going to try this cream blush. Okay, so moving on to eyeshadow. This is the Real Her Playbook Shadow Palette in 1. I've never heard of this brand before. This was inside of the Create and Cultivate bag that they gave us as we were leaving, like a gift bag. And it has some really pretty colors in it. I'm going to go in with Invincible, which is a gray taupe color, and use that as my crease. You guys know I don't really ever do anything super crazy with my makeup. I just like to keep it really fresh and wearable. So I always do a transition crease color. Typically I stick with matte colors. I do darker plums and taupes. But this being a cool shade, I feel like it needs to have a little bit more of a warmer shade, and most of these are cool, on the cool side. And the brush that I'm using is the Defined Crease from Eco Tools. So I love this brush because it gets really great into your crease and gives you a large color payoff, but it's still easy to blend. So it's pretty foolproof. Okay, so I brought you guys in closer so you could see a little bit more. You can see the crease color that I did, and like I said, that was the shade Invincible. And now I'm going to go in with the color Brave, which is this one here in the center, and do that on my outer corner and a little bit into my crease. I'm doing a little bit on the lower lash line on the outer corner as well. Just kind of building that up a little bit. I'm going to go back over the outer corner with this shade here called Royal, which is just a dark, deep bronze. And I'm just going to pack it on the outer corner here. I like these shadows, but I do wish that there were more matte shades to choose from in this palette, because I typically go for a more matte look during the day. So I'm going to take it a little bit under the lower lash line and flick up. go back to that crease brush and just blend it all together. On my lid, I'm going to use this shade here in the middle called Alive, which is just a light shimmery off-white, and just pat it on my lid. Ooh, it's a little bit too light. Normally, I don't wear one this light. Wow. Alright, wasn't expecting that, and it's very, very shimmery. It's pretty. They're very soft shadows, too. I have a new mascara that I wanted to try. It has a very impressive before and after picture here on the front. This is the Lorac Royal Treatment Primer and Mascara Duo. So this is a blue primer. Whoa. Was not expecting this. Okay, this is going to look funny. This is definitely a very weird color primer. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry and then apply the mascara. I just read on the box it says that the primer comes in a cool blue instead of white to ensure a dramatic blue-black finish. Alright, so the mascara wand is just a typical wand. It's not rubberized, and it's just a very thin brush. I like thin brushes like this because then you can get really down to the base of your lashes. You can still kind of see the blue. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but you can still kind of see a little bit of the blue in with the mascara, the blue primer, which I guess is what they were going for, because then you get like a blue-black, which is supposed to be more dramatic. That's actually really pretty. I like that. I'd say it probably gave more length than volume, but I like it a lot. Okay, so here's what it looks like after a couple of coats of the mascara, and I actually really like it a lot. It gives some really good definition and length. I'm going to keep the camera zoomed in while I do my lipstick. I'm using the Sugar Petal Lip Treatment. I used to wear the plum of this all the time, so this is a new color for me to try. And then I'm also going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk. This is my favorite lip liner. I'm filling my lips in with it too, just because it helps the lip balm last longer. These are really soft, subtle colors that are great for daytime. Oh, that's pretty. I really like this color a lot. It's very pretty and subtle, perfect for spring. I like to save highlight for last, and I'm going to go in with the Bronze and Glow, the Makeup Revolution, with the highlighter here in this palette. It's more of a champagne color highlight, and do a little up here. Blend that in a little bit. Alright, I'm going to zoom you guys back out so you can get the full look. So, final thoughts on everything. I did like the primer. I do feel like for my skin type, since I have combination skin and I live in a very humid climate, it's probably not going to be the best as an all-over primer for me because it was a little bit on the thick side. So I think for me it would be easier to mix with my foundation. I love the Fresh Glow from Burberry, which kind of has the same illuminating properties, but it's not as heavy as this was. So that's the only downside for that. But if you have more normal to dry skin, you will probably really like this primer, especially for spring and summer if you want that luminous kind of bronzy glow. The La Mer foundation, I am so thankful that I got this in a sample. I don't think I would ever buy a foundation. Well, never say never, but that was a very expensive foundation and it just didn't really do enough for the price tag. It has a really nice lightweight feel and finish, but I prefer something a little more full coverage, although it would be nice to wear on a day when I don't feel like wearing a lot, but not for the price tag. And let's see, what else do I have? My bronzers, I liked both of these. I do feel like the butter bronzer was a little muddy on my skin. I'm used to a little bit more of a cooler tone bronzer, but I do love the finish of it. It's really pretty. It goes on really well. The, what is this called? This was the Chocolate Bar bronzer and highlighter. I liked this. It was a little bit too chalky, the bronze color. I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of that. The Nude Stick Nudies All Over Face Duo, I just did not like at all. It just, the color didn't really work for me. I don't like using a cream blush. I just felt like it accentuated all of my pores. I did use it over a powder, which is not what you're supposed to do. But it just, I don't like cream blushes in general. I would probably prefer to use it more as a lip color than as cheek. For the concealer, the Color Science Total Eye, I actually really liked this a lot. I like how it has a skincare property with your makeup, and I loved the applicator. It felt really nice and cooling when I applied it. The color is a little bit light, but that I can kind of get away with. I love that it has an SPF of 35, but I will say that it didn't have enough coverage for dark circles for me. I do have dark circles, so I love my Tarte Shape Tape for covering those. It would be one of those products that I would probably layer rather than use alone. The Real Her Playbook shadow palette, I really liked these shadows. They're very creamy and blendable. They were pretty pigmented as well. The only downside is that the colors were a little too cool for me, and there weren't enough matte shadows. I do like to use a matte shadow in my crease, and Invincible was the only one, but it still had a little bit of a sheen. It wasn't a true matte. So I probably would try this in another shade range because this is a number 1, and I'm assuming that they probably have more shades than just this one. I don't really know much about this line though, so if you have any recommendations, if you've tried anything from their line, let me know in the comments. The mascara I liked. I can see this going into my routine. I love the blue primer. It's a really cool concept, and it did give a lot of length and definition. And the Sugar Petal lip balm. I knew I would like this. I've tried these before. I've worn these a lot, just not in this shade, and I really like this color for spring and summer. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick out my outfit, and I will be right back. Alright, so here is my outfit. I just put this chambray top on top of a tank top, but I'll probably end up taking this off because it's really warm today, and I love that it has these little bow ties at the top. I got this from ASOS, so I'll link it down below. And then I got a new pair of white denim because my other ones, I tried everything. I googled it, I did all of the suggestions that you guys gave me, and I could not get the soot out. It just wouldn't budge. So I think it's because we had to travel afterwards, so it just sat there and got worse and worse. But yeah, so these fit actually a little bit better. The length is better. It has a 26-inch inseam. I'm wearing my Jack Rogers sandals that I found on Nordstrom Rack. I love these. They're very comfortable. And I'm just carrying this Kate Spade bag that I love. It's not from this season, but I'll link some down below that are similar. I'm also wearing these. These are a new pair of sunglasses that I recently picked up. They're extremely affordable. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'll take these off. But yeah, if you liked it, then give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.